Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I just wanted to make a very quick sort of check-in video for those of you who are participating in the long-term protective style challenge with me. For those of you who don't know, a couple of weeks ago I started a long-term protective style challenge. So people were allowed to enter anywhere from October 19th up until the 31st. I did extend it a little bit into the first week of November. And really the goal of this challenge is to keep your hair in a long-term protective style, anywhere from 3 months to 6 months to 9 months, for the purpose of length retention. You can read about some of the more specific details of the challenge on efficientlynaturalhaircare.com, but I wanted to sort of just make a check-in video to see how everyone is doing on this challenge and to let you know how I'm doing. As far as the long-term protective styles that people are doing, I did sort of outline this 3-tiered system that sort of designates what I think are or ranks what I think are the best long-term protective styles. So I have tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3, and I do plan on making a video dedicated to why I created this system and why I think some styles are better than others. So I won't get into that today, but I will create a video discussing that topic specifically. Alright, before I sort of get into the specifics of what I'm doing for the challenge and how the challenge is going for me, I wanted to give you all a sense of who all is in this challenge and what we're all doing. So as you know, I did ask you all to complete a pre-challenge survey, and I'm briefly going to go over the results of that survey now. So there are actually 152 of us ladies participating in this challenge, and I'm super excited that so many of you were interested enough to go on this journey with me. So out of the 152, I asked all of you what protective style you were going to be doing. You guys gave me your responses, so actually the majority of you are doing individual twists without attached hair, so 48 people. 38 people are doing individual braids with attached hair, so something like this, like box braids. 29 are doing individual braids without attached hair, and it kind of goes down from there. 17 people doing individual twists with attached hair. So again, the majority are doing individual twists without attached hair, or individual braids with attached hair. Some of the other questions I asked you included how often you were going to be washing your hair, but a majority of you were doing monthly washes, and then another 28% were going to just wash your hair as needed. One of the other questions I asked was, what was your hair length? And so we are a diverse group, anywhere from ear length all the way to classic length. So we're all interested in length retention and promoting healthy hair, so that's awesome. As far as hair type, I did ask what your hair type was, or what you considered your hair type to be. The majority of you are type 4 hair. The highest percentage is 33%, which was type 4C hair, and then followed by 15 or 16%, which is mixed type 4 hair. So that's awesome too. And then there are a bunch of other questions that I asked you. One of the other questions that I thought was interesting was, how long are you going to be participating in this challenge? So as you know, the challenge, you can participate for 3 months, 6 months, or 9 months. Majority of you said that you were going to do 3 months and then kind of see how you felt after that, and I think that's totally fine and a great option. What I think I'll do is definitely do this style for 3 months, and then after 3 months I'll probably do another protective style, so switch up this style, maybe do twists instead, and then maybe switch up again at the 6-month mark. So I think it's totally reasonable to go ahead and do 3 months and just see how your hair is doing and see if you want to continue the challenge after that point. So that's all. There's a bunch of other questions. I won't go into details, but I wanted to sort of give you guys an overview of who all is participating in this challenge. So 152 women doing many different long-term protective styles, many different hair lengths, and I'm super excited that you're all joining me on this challenge. Alright, so I will go ahead and next just sort of get into what I'm doing with my own hair and how the challenge is going for me. So how is the challenge going for me? Well, it's okay. I think I'm one of those people that gets really excited about the newness of a new hairstyle, and then after a couple of weeks I'm like over it. So I installed my hair the weekend of October 24th, and so I've had these braids in for about 3 weeks, and so far it's been okay. I think that 3 weeks in, my hair definitely looks a lot messier at the root, so definitely not as neat as when I first installed the braids. And that's a challenge because everyone likes the like fresh braids look, but when it doesn't look as neat, it's kind of like you feel like it, you know, you're not as, you know, polished or whatever. So the reason I think that my roots look you know, this messy after just 3 weeks of having the braids in is that I did the braids as slightly larger. So these are probably medium to large size braids. Again, I did these braids with the focus of doing like bigger parts and using a very small amount of the attached hair, just because I wanted them to feel very light. I think when you do smaller braids, they tend to look better for longer. I think that when you do big braids like this, or medium braids, your new growth tends to be a little bit more apparent than if you have smaller braids. So I don't know if you guys can appreciate this, but it doesn't look so neat as the roots. If I had done smaller braids, then it wouldn't be as apparent when my hair gets messy. I don't know if that makes sense, but I tend to find that the smaller I do my braids, the longer they stay looking fresh or neat at the roots. So I have considered going back through and maybe splitting each braid and making it into 2 braids and just, you know, having smaller braids throughout all of my hair. So essentially redoing all of it smaller. I might do that. One of the other things that I often do when I have my hair in box braids like this is I'll go through and refresh the braids. So basically what that means is I'll go through and redo the braids that are most visible. So braids like along my edges and at the top of my hair that people can see. In order to keep it looking fresh, I will go through and literally take out the braid and then, you know, remove the shed hairs or whatever and then just re-braid that braid. And I'll do that all along the perimeter and at the top of my hair to just give the appearance of freshly done braids. So that I call refreshing the braids. So I'll probably be doing that soon, probably at the 1 month mark. So I think I tend to, you know, even when my hair is outside of braids, I tend to wash my hair every month. So maybe I'll wash and then I'll refresh braids after my next wash. So that's that as far as how I feel about my hair. So as far as what I'm actually doing day to day, I think the major thing that I'm doing while I have my hair in these braids is making sure that I'm taking care of my scalp. So I am definitely someone who I would say has scalp issues in general. I tend to suffer from dandruff and like itchy scalp. So I have to be very careful and very diligent about my scalp health, especially when I'm in a long-term protective style like this. And one of the things that has really helped me is something called Sulfur 8, which I think maybe mentioned in a previous video. So this is the Sulfur 8 that I use. So Sulfur 8 is, this is the original formula that comes in this yellow bottle, and it's an anti-dandruff hair and scalp conditioner. It's kind of this greasy, you know, consistency, and I just literally apply it to my scalp like so, and just kind of rub it in so that you don't see it. So I do this probably every other night or so. Now the thing about Sulfur 8, I think that people tend to have issue with it is that it has a very sort of strong medicinal smell, kind of like a menthol smell that can be kind of overwhelming. So I don't love the smell. So what I tend to do is I apply it at night. For example, if I have to go to work the next day, I'll apply this at night so that by the time I wake up in the morning, the smell isn't quite as strong. So that's one way that you can get over that smell if it does bother you. And you know, that's if you have issues with a dry, itchy scalp or dandruff. This is, I think, a great product for that. Another way to get over the smell is to use actually the Sulfur 8 light formula. So this also comes in a light formula, which is in this light blue bottle. So I've used both of these. This is like the light formula. I say the consistency is similar in terms of like the greasiness. It's still yellow, but it tends to smell less medicinal than the original formula. I think that they work similarly. I haven't noticed a huge difference when I use one over the other. I would say that the original formula has like a tingling sensation that the light formula doesn't. So if you like that, then maybe you might want to stick to the original formula. So that's what I do in terms of, you know, keeping my scalp issues at bay. The other thing I do for my scalp is actually apply an oil to my scalp. So I do this probably every couple of days or so. But again, I am applying the sulfur 8. So I'll show you the oil that I'm using right now. So this is actually a mixture of oils that my sister-in-law actually created for me. I don't actually know what's in it, but I think there's like peppermint, and she does like Ayurvedic oils, you know. So what I'll do is like literally get this dropper and just go through and like put like oil drops in my hair and sort of massage it into my scalp. And it smells so good. So yeah, my sister-in-law, she does a lot of DIY stuff, and she's like really great at it. She goes all out. You should check out her channel, Michelle Ijama. I'll put the link here on my channel as well, but she like does a lot of cool stuff. So yeah, she created this oil, and I use this to oil my scalp. You can use anything that you want. I've used things like coconut oil in the past. If you get it melted, then you can use like a dropper or use it like a squeeze bottle and oil your scalp that way. Grapeseed oil is another good one. There's so many oils that you can use. I don't think that there is one, you know, that I would say that you must use over another. Just whatever works for you and you feel, you know, is good for your scalp. So I do that a couple of times a week as well. And then the other thing I do to keep the length of my hair feeling moisturized, and my routine is very, very simple. I don't do a lot of complicated things, mostly because I don't have the patience for that. So as far as like moisture, I have a spray bottle here. This is literally water. Sometimes I'll do aloe vera juice in here, maybe like 1 part water, 1 part aloe vera juice, or like straight aloe vera juice. It just depends on how I feel, but I literally just spray my hair very lightly with water, right? And then kind of massage it in with my hands, like so. And then I tend to apply a heavier oil, like castor oil, especially now that it's winter time. I feel like that really helps to seal in the moisture. So I don't know if, you know, I know a lot of people don't like the super heavy oils, but I really like them, especially when I'm wearing braids. So after spraying my hair with water, will literally just massage the oil into my hair, focusing on the ends. When I did these braids, I realized that the braiding hair was a similar length to my actual hair, so I am trying to take care to make sure that I'm taking care of the ends of the hair, because I know that my hair goes down pretty far. So if you're in that, you know, situation, you might want to do the same. So that's all. So I will go around and just spray different portions of my hair with this water or aloe, and then I will get some castor oil and then sort of massage that into my hair. And that's pretty much it. At night, I just typically will wrap my hair up into a bun, sometimes at the top of my head, sometimes not. And then I'll use a headband and hold it, and then put my scarf over that. So it's, you know, very simple. And that's what I like about these braids, that they're not super heavy. There's not a whole lot of hair, so I don't feel like I'm like lugging, you know, a lot of the attached hair around, and that it's difficult to sleep in or anything like that. So that's it. That is what I'm doing with my hair. I think the next step for me would probably be in about the next week or so. I will wash my hair and condition my hair, and I'll let you know how I do that. And then I'll probably refresh some of the braids that are looking messier. So as always, thank you so much for watching. I would love to know what you're doing with your hair right now and how your protective style journey is going. So please definitely comment below and let me know how you're doing. All right, bye.